didn't want to push you down the stairs. I never wanted to hurt you. I was only trying to protect you. Please, please, before you do anything or call the cops, just... Can you let me explain? Please. Months ago, I saw you moved into the neighborhood. I wasn't always like this, as you can tell, I get pretty protective around you and clingy, obsessive, enamored by you. But when you moved in, you were just like any other new neighbor to me. I didn't really pay much attention at first. But after you moved in, I started noticing things shortly after. I saw someone. I don't know who, and I still don't know who, but I saw someone sneaking around your house in the middle of the night. They never went in your house. They only looked. Checked to see if the doors were unlocked, the windows, front door, back door. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they wanted, but it was clear that you were a part of whatever it was that they wanted to do. And, when I first saw them, I was gonna call the cops, but, cops can be sometimes. They get here a little late, and I was worried that he'd be gone by the time they arrived, so I built up the courage to grab my phone and try to get a picture, just something to identify this person so they couldn't get away. At the time, I truthfully was more worried about my own safety than yours, because I figured if he was going after you, then, he could be going after anyone in the neighborhood. Thought it was just some random person trying to, score some money, taking whatever they could find, but I was very wrong about that. So I went out. It was early in the morning, 1, 2 a.m. possibly. I got up to your house and, was trying to be quiet, but when I got there, they were already gone. I figured if I call the cops now, I'll just look crazy. No one's really here, and I didn't even get a good description of what they looked like. It was so dark. But, I looked around to see if they were hiding or left something, dropped something on accident. And then I saw you. I saw your bedroom windows unlocked. But you were sleeping so soundly. And that's the first time I realized how heavy of a sleeper you are. Probably not a good thing, but at the time I thought it was cute. I went to lock it, I didn't want anyone to get hurt. But I stopped for a second, and laying there so peacefully. And for a moment, I felt this kind of closeness to you. These occurrences, they kept happening more and more frequently, and I became even more invested in figuring out who it was. If it's one thing about me, I definitely don't back down from a challenge. And once I set my mind on something, I'm all in. Kind of like with you. But I figured if I had enough evidence, I could go to the police and, they'd be able to do something about it. But the more I kept investigating and waiting for this person to show up again and following them around, I realized that the police weren't going to give them what they deserved. How could they? At first I wanted justice, but then I realized I wanted them gone. And I don't mean just disappearing on their own. I wanted to get rid of them myself. I guess you could say maybe the reason for that change was the feelings that I had towards you. They only kept growing and growing. I mean, I was around you way more than you realize. I figured, I might as well keep an eye on you and protect you at the same time. If this person was trying to harm you and you were really the only connection I had to them, I started following you around everywhere. And that day when you woke up in the hospital and I was telling you all those wonderful things about yourself, those are all things I learned from watching you. Watching you really closely. And it's true, you don't know me. We never met. I didn't want to meet you until I knew that you'd like me. Until I knew that you'd like me at least close to the way that I like you. The more I followed you, you were hanging out with friends, going out, or even just at home doing nothing. That closeness that I felt at first, it turned into something more, a deep attachment. Like there's this string connecting us together. You may not feel it, but I do. I feel it every second of every day. I feel it. I would follow you everywhere. I'd watch you almost every single night. I'd fall asleep watching you. But I'd wake up right before you did. Make sure you'd never see me. I'd keep your doors and windows locked. I'd place cameras all around your house, and at first it was only on the outside, 'cause I didn't want to invade your privacy, but I couldn't help myself but to put some inside your house. I mean, how would I know what was happening if I couldn't see inside? I had to keep a good eye on you. I had to protect you. I did this to keep you safe. I didn't want them to hurt you. I mean, in a sense, I was kind of like your guardian angel, I guess you could say. I mean, up until then I didn't hurt you. I wouldn't ever lay a finger on you like that. Until that night came. The night that they were finally gonna do it. I knew this night was different. They had tools and supplies, and I knew it was gonna be bad. I don't know what they were planning to do to you, but I couldn't just let it happen. Not after getting to know you so well and falling so deeply in love with you. I knew what I had to do. I let him walk in first, and I locked the door behind us. But I think we were both shocked to see you were awake. It was so late. I usually sleep through the night, but I guess you got up to use the bathroom that night. My original plan was to take them out before they even reached your room. But you startled them by walking into the hall, and I'm not blaming you or anything, honey. But I think they didn't know what to do. So they opened the basement door as a way to distract you and bring you closer. And they hid around the corner. I don't know if you remember this, but you walked up to the door, confused, as I would be too. And I stood back waiting. I didn't know what his next move was going to be, but I didn't want to meet you like this. Not in that moment. I didn't want you to see me and remember me, and I was trying so hard to stay hidden, but they lunged forward to attack you. I knocked you out of the way. I pushed you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The last thing I wanted to do was hurt you, but I reacted so fast, and I guess I'm not good at this. I pushed you down the stairs, and I was so startled by seeing you fall to the ground that they struck me in the shoulder. And I was snapped back into reality, and I took care of it. You don't have to know the details. You have been through enough, okay? You have been through enough. I don't want to traumatize you anymore. They won't hurt you any longer. I made sure of it. And after I took care of them, I called the ambulance. I came out of the house with you and pretended like I was your wife. Because you needed someone there. You needed someone who knew what happened. Someone to fill them in on who you were and all the wonderful things about you. I told them that you tripped and fell because it was so dark and you couldn't see. You were unconscious the whole time. I was so desperately worried about you, but I'm just happy you're okay. I really am. And I guess we got to meet in the way that I wanted us to. You got to know me. You got to see me as someone who loves and cares for you so deeply. And I still do. I still do. Even more, these past few weeks, taking care of you in the hospital, bringing you home. I would do anything for you, baby. I just want you to know. I need you to know that I am so deeply in love with you. And I know you are too. Don't look so shocked. You've been lying to yourself this whole time. You've loosened up around me. You trust me. You lean on me. You wouldn't do those things if you didn't want to. I know it. I know you want to reciprocate it, but you're scared. You're scared because you couldn't remember what happened. But now you know the whole entire truth. But I'm worried because does knowing the truth change how you feel me? Does all the love we've built between us just fade away? You kissed me. You kissed me. So I'm taking that as a no then. You still love me. You want to be with me. That's all I've ever wanted to hear. You're all I've ever wanted. Since that moment that I watched you sleep, I knew there was something tying me to you. Fate brought us together, and I won't let anything keep us apart. Nothing, no one will keep you from me. I promise. You mean that? You want to marry me for real this time? You really want me to be your wife? There's nothing more I could ever want than to spend the rest of my life with you. I vow to never let anything or anyone come in the way of us for as long as we both live. I love you. I love you more than anything. Let's go to bed now.